Hey guys, it's Crystal with Journey Intuit. So I wanted to make a video about what is light language. What do we use it for? How can you use it? The more that I've been doing my sound transmissions and activations and doing the digital art and the paintings, the encoded art with the light language, the more that I've been asked the question of, what is this? What are you doing? What are you speaking? So I figured it's a good time as any to do a video upon what is light language? What are we using it for? How can you use it? So I'm definitely speaking from personal experience and how I feel about it. This may vary from other people's perspective and what they feel about it. But to me, I feel as though it is a universal language. I feel like it is not cognitive in a sense to where the mind does not process it rather than the heart in itself. Definitely have to have that open heart and your open field to allow for this language to come in and do what's best for you, for your highest good. I also wanted to say that I don't feel that there are lower vibrational light languages. I know I've heard a good bit. Well, that scared the shit out of me, or I just couldn't listen to it. And I think a lot of people go ahead and assume, well, that's not coming from a place of love, or that's low vibrational. And I don't feel that way. I feel as though, well, maybe that one's just not meant for you. There's nothing coded within that particular frequency or transmission that's going to help you. So it's almost like your soul already knows, hey, on to the next. That one's not for me. You may look at a piece of art and be like, not really feeling nothing here. Well, there's no codes in there for you and your highest good. I feel like light language itself comes from the heart. It is that connection to your higher self, to your cosmic self, to your galactic self, to your angelic self, your multidimensional self, and pulling forth these frequencies and these vibrations to serve and to help and to activate and to heal. So those are some of the things that light language can be used for. It can be used for healing. Healing is on the top of my list for what I actually use light language for. I use it talking to my body. I'll use it talking to my plants. If they're kind of drooping and not looking so great, yeah, they're going to get some love with some light language. I will use it to clear my space, clear, these lower vibrational energies, just clear energy in itself, whatever that may be. Very good for, let's say you're into stones and crystals. And maybe you've heard to put it out during a full moon, or to cleanse, or amplify the energy within that particular crystal. Well, hey, you can also use light language to do that. So clearing energy and amplifying energy as well. Some other tools that light language can be used for is activations. So when I say that, it's kind of similar to downloads. If you've ever experienced a energetic download from source, or maybe you have and you don't recognize it as that. I don't want to get sidetracked into that conversation, but if you've ever kind of, you're highly energetic, you're going about your day, and then all of a sudden, poof, something just hits you and you're like, oh man, I have to go process and lay down real quick. You may get vibrations in the body, or you may feel like sensations moving through the body. You may get pressure in the head coming through. Those to me are packets of downloads. They're energetic downloads straight from source, straight from your galactic family, straight from your star family, however you want to call it. These things are coming in so that you and your body can process them in increments. It's almost like it's too much at one time. You have to process those through the days to come. So light language to me is very, very similar. It's activating things within your body that is needed for your highest good. And when I say that, it could be along the lines of activating your soul's memory. If you want to think of it in a perspective of past, parallel, future, galactic lives, it could activate your soul's memory to bring in those particular memories that are going to serve you in your path. You could have activations for, just an example, I have activated someone bringing in their codes to activate their healing qualities. So they were kind of at this place where it was trying to come through, and they didn't have that space to open up and be vulnerable with it, to allow it to activate, so that they could use this tool, as that was one of their missions. And this particular light language for them activated that for them, and they're using that technique on the daily now. So super cool tool for activations. I use it in my energy healing sessions for activating the chakras. I know a lot of people are interested in activating the third eye and working with the third eye. So super powerful tool for activating the third eye, the crown chakra, your connection to the divine, aligning your other chakras. They need to be activated. They're just as important. Just as important as the third eye. I promise you they are. So I have found during energy healing sessions that I will balance those, clear those out, activate them, amplify the energy, so that you're good to go. Another thing about light language, I use toning and seed syllables. So if you've listened to my transmissions before, then you notice I do a lot of oohs and a lot of ahs and ees and uhs. Those are seed syllables, and I've found that when I'm doing an energy healing session, that I'm actually using tones to balance these chakras. Okay. So let's say I'm visually seeing, let's say, the solar plexus, and let's say it's a little cloudy, it's muddy, it's got some debris in there. We need to cleanse and clear that space. So I'm going to tone to do that. So I may say, ooh, it's going to be sung more than that. But I've noticed too that when that comes out, it'll be crackly. It'll almost match the resonance of what's going on in that area right then. And the more that I tone and the more that I send that energy through the hands, I also feel like light language comes from the hands too. Just a little side note there. But as I'm doing that, the tones will get clearer and clearer. So I think that's pretty cool. So I also use light language activations, codes, during energy healing sessions as well. This could be upgrading DNA. This could be aligning and activating your Merkaba. There are so many things that this could be used for, okay? You can do it yourself. I feel like everybody can speak this language. I think I've already said that, but I do. And you can use this yourself. You can speak to your body in this. You can connect to God or source or that higher power, whatever you're more comfortable with. You can connect in that way. You can connect to your higher self, your spirit guides, your angelic team, your power animals. The list goes on with the potentials of what you could actually use light language for. So what are the ways that we can actually do light language? So of course you have your spoken. It can be just normal words. It can be singing. It can go in hand with toning and seed syllables. It can obviously be art and written symbols. Super cool. I like to do these hand in hand. I like to do my art while I'm speaking it, whether I'm on camera or off camera. This one has a pretty cool metallic effect to it. It's super cool. And you guys, all of the transmissions and art that I'm creating, if they're not specifically for a client, then they are for sale on my website at journeyintuit.com. Just putting that out there. So this pretty baby right here is up for sale on the website. So yeah, I did get a little sidetracked there. But what are some of the ways? So we got art that we can do. I've seen really, really cool videos of people using their hands to bring forth codes. And I think that is just fabulous. That's not something that I've really played around with, but if it comes, it comes. I'm so totally open to it. I think I kind of do it anyways as I'm talking, and just, it's an unconscious thing. Speaking of which, unconsciously, a lot of people ask me, when did this start, or how did this start for me? So I think unconsciously I had been speaking my mother tongue. I'm just gonna call it my mother tongue, or maybe my native tongue, for as far back as I can remember. I can think back right now and have so many memories of when I would actually do this, whether it be toning and then speaking the language in my head, or if I was in a private space and I would say it out loud, or people that are close to me and would be in my proximity as to when I'm sleeping would always tell me that I tone or hum or moan or speak some crazy language in my sleep. And I never thought about that until I started like really truly bringing this forth and placing that label upon it. Hey, this is light language. But I think that's super cool. Just thinking back on that, the many people that's told me, hey, you're speaking something crazy in your sleep, or they would say moaning, and really it was toning. And so let's see, what are some other things? I had another one I wanted to bring forth. Oh, speaking of unconsciously. So I've had a lot of people tell me, hey, do you know that you were just singing, or what was that language you were speaking? So you ever had those times to where you kind of just are zoned out and you're doing whatever with your hands, which is pretty cool in itself, that, you know, to think about it from this perspective right now in this moment, when I'm doing the art, that's just flowing, and it's also keeping the mind busy while the language comes forth. And that's something that I had been doing unconsciously. Like if I was in the middle of like working on something, say I'm building something, or even like at work, and you know, the hands are busy, so the mind's kind of pushed to the side, and these things were just flowing out, and I did not even realize it, but other people were taking notice of it. Hey, do you know that you were just singing, or do you know that you were just speaking some sort of language, and, you know, things like that. So it was happening unconsciously. The other thing that I noticed is when I started bringing forth a language that, let's say it was not of my mothering tongue, it came through and was integrated within me. I call these different energy signatures. So you have like, if you think about starseeds and galactic spaces, you have, you know, different beings like Lyrans and Andromedans and Arcturians, and, you know, the list goes on and on and on. And even many that are not popular and out there, that a lot of people talk about. And I've connected with one of those and brought forth one of those languages. But what I've noticed is when a new download or a new energy signature is coming through for me to use, that I will begin to see sacred geometry. These shapes will begin to flow in, and usually coming into my third eye. The very first time that happened, to where a new energy signature came in to integrate a new language, I was laying on the bed and I was looking up at the ceiling, and then all of a sudden these gold letterings and shapes and geometric shapes and the sacredness to it was just flowing into, there was a triangle right here, and it was flowing into my forehead, to my third eye. And the very next day I had a regular energy healing session, and all of a sudden I started speaking this language. And I'm so glad that the client that I had in front of me was like, open to it. And she was just like, wow, what was that? So that's how it kind of happened for me. And the more that I've went along, the more that I can understand exactly what is coming through. I can understand exactly what I'm saying. I can understand what energy signature it is. And there's been a few that have been integrated within me. So I have my mother in tongue. The one that I was speaking of that's not very popular and out there is Antares. And the way that I figured that one out is, I did a transmission and I knew exactly what I wanted it to be. And it was the first time that instead of just typing a title from the mind, I cleared the mind and connected to the heart and connected to my higher self. And I said, hey, what should I title this? And it came through as Antares energy, reawaken your soul's a memory. So that's what I titled it. And the more that I looked into that Antares energy, the more that I can see why that began to integrate within me. I can see why that has a lot to do with my cosmic journey, and can totally understand why that came through. So you could speak a specific energetic signature for a particular galactic family, and you also could bring forth others as well. I feel like it's dependent upon what your intentions are, dependent upon what you're open to. There's so many possibilities. I feel like it's limitless. So what are some other ways that you could actually use light language? I have seen people dance codes, and I think that's just beautiful. It's something that is so elegantly done. I don't know if any of you have ever seen someone bring forth light language codes with dance, but super cool. If you haven't, go check that out. Definitely not something that I do, as I'm not the greatest dancer in the world, but you know what? I feel like if I shut this down and just flowed with it, I might could do something with it. What you think? So there's that. You have the speaking, you have the singing, you have the art, you have the hand movements, you have the dance. I feel like there's probably other ways that I just don't know of or not coming to mind right now. And you have the energetic signatures. You have what it is and how we could use it for healing, for activations, for upgrading DNA, for aligning the chakras, for clearing space and energy, and so many more. I feel like if you set an intention to it and you hold that power, which you do, then you can use light language for whatever you want. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to do this little video to kind of say, hey, this is what this is. And next time somebody asks me, I can just boom, send them this link and they can be like, oh, okay, I get it. She's crazy. And I'm just kidding. So anyways, you guys, make sure you have followed my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, for when these new art pieces are coming through, this encoded art, the light language transmissions, the energy is flowing as of right now. So I expect to be putting out a good bit. Chop, chop, chop. Let's go. Let's go. Let's flow. And make sure you go visit my website, journeyintuit.com. There are tons of digital arts on there. It has little descriptions as to what you can tune into. I do go more in depth on those digital art pieces or even the paintings that are available for sale in my members page. It is just now getting up and running, but I give like shadow work prompts on there to help you to explore your inner self more. I give more prompts on the paintings and the digital art, as far as how you can connect and move into that energy, and allow for it to facilitate whatever needs to happen within you. And I also do discounts on my paintings first in the members page. So if you're interested in that, you can shoot me an email at journeyintuit@gmail.com. I do have it priced at $11.11 a month. It is not an ongoing, a reoccurring charge, rather than you get the password for the month, for your 30 days. And if you want to sign up after that as well, then that's how we do it. So there's that. You got the members page that offers you discounts. Once it gets up and going bigger, I actually want to start doing monthly giveaways, and so that'll be really fun too. So that's another initiative. So come and join me. Come and join me on my journey. Start your own journey of healing, and let me be that guiding light for you. So there's that. And if you like this video, if it helped you to understand better what light language is, make sure you hit the like button, and I will see you guys next time.